This is Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans with me, Cheryl Burke, an iHeartRadio podcast. My next guest is known for more than being one of my many dance partners that I've had on Dancing with the Stars, as he's made such a huge impact worldwide when it comes to his many talents, but more importantly, for his transparency and vulnerability when it comes to speaking out about his journey towards sobriety, which has inspired me and millions of other people as well. I'll never forget the week we danced our rumba on the show, as we dedicated that dance to anyone who has ever dealt with addiction, and how powerful that was to so many people, including a couple of the crew members who actually came up to us after our performance in tears, thanking us for our dance and for the impact that we had made. Though we haven't sat down and talked in a while, I have so much love and respect for my next guest. I also want to give a trigger warning before bringing my next guest on, as a part of this interview will be about addiction, alcoholism, sobriety, etc. So, without further ado, please welcome my friend, AJ McLean. AJ!
Hi, Boo.
Hi, Boo Boo. It's almost like, we were doing our podcast pretty messed up like eons ago.
It is a while ago. It's funny. Renee and I were literally talking about it maybe like 2 weeks ago.
How is Renee?
He's wonderful. 61, still standing.
For sure.
Yeah. I'll be seeing him this weekend for some ass whooping on the golf course. So,
please give him my love and his whole family, honestly. But how are you? Because it's like we've seen each other. We've definitely texted. I definitely am horrible at keeping in touch when I don't have to see.
A little bit.
I will take a full accountability. It's not about busy. It's just I suck at it. Like, I make time for you, but like I just suck at it, because either you're catching me when I'm like just don't feel pretty, or like I'm doing something like this, podcasting, or who knows. But there's no excuses, and I take full accountability. And I'm sorry I suck at it.
You're immediately forgiven.
Thanks.
No, man, everything is good over here. Just celebrated 2 years sober
Congrats.
2 months ago. Shit, I forgot what month I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I haven't stopped moving. Just, doing life. Family is good. My girls are taking I like to put it in the terms of a sabbatical from competitive dance. They're taking a back seat for a year.
That's great. That's so great.
They're burnt out. They just want to be kids. They want to spend more time with me now that I'm off for pretty much off for the next year. I can't say what we're doing in 25, but it's going to be record breaking what the band is doing in 25.
You're going to have to tell me when we're not recording.
Yes, I can definitely tell you when we're
I will sign my life away if I have to. Yeah, I have to know what's going on.
No group of our caliber, or actually really no artist of our caliber, has ever done what we're going to do.
Wow.
I wish it was my idea, but it was my wife's idea 7 years ago.
Whoa, Rochelle?
Yeah, and I've been planting seeds with the guys for literally 7 years, and finally broke through the mold, and we had a big giant team powwow with management and agents and everyone's on board. So
wait, that's amazing. I love that you're giving your wife credit for this.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's come up with a lot of great ideas, and she'll always say, "Hey, bring it up to the guys. Don't say I said anything." I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say this was your idea.
Well, if you don't tell me, she will, because we are DM friends. So.
Yes. When the other guys' wives make suggestions, they're like the first to be like, well, my wife said this. So that's awesome. I'm going to do the same thing.
I love it.
And I'm finishing up finally. It's been 2 years working on my solo record, coming to the end of the recording process, about to start mixing, finally releasing it next year in 2 separate parts.
Wow.
So
wait, how do you juggle all of the group and then your own stuff, and then you're also not just doing music, you're also on TV, you're considered a personality,
Yeah, well, you just have to have a healthy balance. I mean, we are done. We finished up the DNA tour in May, and we are taking a year off, figuratively. We have one thing coming up in April next year, but aside from that, we are off. So it's everyone's time to kind of do their own thing.
So like all of 2024, you're off basically until 2025.
Pretty much.
Got it.
Yep. All of 2024. There might be a couple spot dates here and there, but it's my year for me. I'm launching a clothing company, an athleisure wear clothing line.
Crazy. Good for you.
As well as Ava Dean, my beauty line is expanding. And just enjoying being home. Finally finishing my 4th step.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's only taken me 25 fucking years, but
Yes, I hear you. I now understand why. At first I was like, why is it taking AJ so long? And I'm like, wait, no, now I get it. I really do get it. I do. It's a lot to face.
It is a lot. And I've gotten a little complacent, and I've literally been at the tail end of it for about a year, and I just put my book down. I put my pen down. I got busy, but I also just got complacent, and I was like, I don't want to finish this, but I know when I do, the freedom I will experience is unlike anything else.
I'm sure.
I know I think I talked to you when I was in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Arizona this past summer.
When you just got back, I think.
Yeah, I was there the entire summer. When we finished the tour, I was home for about a week, and then I was in Arizona. I was in Scottsdale for 10 weeks, doing an intensive outpatient program at the Meadows for trauma, PTSD, depression, and anxiety. And let me just tell you, 10 weeks for the rest of my life is worth every penny. I have an amazing therapist that I've gotten from there. One of the weeks I was there, I did inpatient. It was I would suggest this to any human alive. It's called Survivors Week, and it's in Wickenburg, Arizona. Not a whole lot going on in Wickenburg. And when I say not a lot, I mean not a lot. It's like horse country in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, you're not supposed to be doing much other than doing what you're supposed to be doing, right?
Exactly. But I actually did a lot of inner child work. Shortly after that, I was in Tampa, sat with my dad for the first time in 42 years.
I saw that on your Instagram.
It went really well.
Yeah.
And I'm also a massive fan. I'm sure you know, because I know you're into your self-help. I know you're into all that stuff. I know you have to know who Brene Brown is.
Where have you been?
I know. Well, hey, I never even heard of her until Arizona. So
did you see her special on HBO?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to. I know.
I mean, if you want Brene Brown content, just let me know.
Well, while I was there, one of the excerpts that we watched in group, she talks about a mantra that she lives by, which is the word braving. And I now have that tattooed on my arm.
Stop! Oh my God. Have you met her yet?
I haven't, and I have BB right there, which is Brene Brown.
Oh my God, you got that before your Backstreet Boys tattoo?
Yeah, I still haven't gotten that yet.
Oh God.
Priorities, babe. Priorities. And
no, for real.
I live by this. If anyone listening to the show does not know what it stands for, it's boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and gratitude.
Wow. That is some strong, powerful words right there.
She really affected me. And she also had another phrase that I got tattooed on my knuckles, or at least the initials, which is, if it doesn't fit, don't wear it. Me being a people pleaser and being very codependent, I always take on everyone's shit.
Yeah.
And I'm done with that. You do you. I'm going to take care of me. That's it. Yeah. I mean,
isn't she so
amazing
though? Isn't she freaking, have you heard her? Because she doesn't do a podcast now. I have a feeling though, since I've been stalking her, I'm subscribed to her website. She is coming out with a new podcast, but I've binged and listened 7 times, I swear, to each episode. Yeah. She is the research, regardless of if anyone here believes in it or not, regardless, it's just researching vulnerability in general, just like how she started. And it is fascinating. And I love it.
Trauma. I mean, there's one of the episodes that we watched. She was talking about the marble jar and talking about her daughter being bullied at school and all of these things. And, I've actually been dealing with that with my youngest. She is very hard on herself about her body. and it's become a thing. And we're really trying to, give and take with it as much as we can. She's just doesn't understand why she doesn't look like Elliot, and doesn't want to look like anyone. So like if I say, "Oh my God, you look like mommy today," she loses her mind. She doesn't want to look like mommy. She doesn't want to look like me. And I said, "Baby, I hate to break it to you, but you are me and mommy. There's no way around that. And a little bit of your sister."
And this is your youngest.
My youngest, yeah. And then my wife, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this. She has lost 65 pounds.
Stop it.
She looks unfucking believable.
Wait, what?
Always been beautiful.
Yeah, she is gorgeous.
But God, dog, like, yes.
It's like a whole new relationship.
It
sounds
is.
like.
And we'll like joke around when I go to the house and I give her a hug. I'm like, I can wrap my arms around you like 4 times.
Oh my God. So last time I talked to you, I think you were separated or things weren't working out it is today.
We still live separately, but we are in couples therapy. We are in individual therapy. We talk every day. We are spending more time together. We just have to rebuild something that was never there from the beginning.
Got it.
Renee, maybe about a year and a half ago, I was at his house and he couldn't have worded it better.
Renee, not Brene. Renee.
Not Renee. Renee.
I was like, wait, you were at her house? Excuse me.
Oh yeah. We're your homies now. No, Renee said, "Look, man, you and Rochelle, when you first got together, the best way I could describe it is because we were sitting in front of it. He's on that lake. So we're sitting in front of the lake and he's like, you guys were ball gagged, handcuffed, ankle cuffed, thrown in the water and said, be in a relationship. It's impossible. I came with baggage. She came with baggage. She had trauma. I had trauma. I wasn't sober or even ready to get sober. She was dealing with her own shit. So it was just a constant push-pull. She would sweep her feelings under the rug. I would do the same thing, or I'd dive into a bottle. So now it's taken this time apart for us to really do some serious growing and understanding and listening. There is a phrase that I learned in Arizona, lover, but with a U. Listen, understand, be vulnerable, have empathy, and reiterate. So if you and I are having a conversation and you're telling me your feelings, I'm validating your feelings. I'm hearing your feelings and I have empathy. And because normally I would twist it and make it about me. Not anymore. Lover is a great way to communicate with not only your partner, but just people in general. Have empathy, listen to them, validate their feelings because they are their feelings. Doesn't matter if you agree with it, but it's their feelings. They own that. So by us kind of approaching things now that way, it's been much, much healthier. So
I'm so happy to hear all of this. Like I can hear that you've grown so much, but on top of it, I'm not sure if you had a therapist when me and you were like in the thick of it as far as Dancing with the Stars goes.
I wish I did.
It's okay though, but now you are, right? So moving forward, but I didn't even realize because I suck at keeping in touch and all of that, but I didn't even realize you relapsed after our time on Dancing with the Stars. So how, you must have learned, you're building, you sound so grounded. You sound so excited about life and it's so inspiring to hear. And I also want to share with you my stepsister. I think I've talked about her with you. She passed away, end of August.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. It was definitely, we don't have the coroner results as of today, but she definitely, I know, passed from addiction. And I've never had, and Renee, I believe I was trying to hook them up, but then Renee had said something super powerful at that time, was like, I can't force her to admit that she has an issue, right, with addiction, obviously. So they never, unfortunately, connected, but in a weird way, first of all, I've never had anyone close to me like that pass away from addiction. And then on top of it, it's a weird feeling because it's like I almost feel more at peace knowing that she's at peace.
Yeah.
I'm still grieving,
I can't even imagine. Since the beginning of COVID, I've now collectively lost 11 friends. One of my most recent friends, he was 30 years old. Fentanyl got him. I was in Arizona when I got the news, flew home to be with his girlfriend, who is one of my closest friends. She's been my editor for all my videos, and she's also programmed. We did a thing at the beach. He was a big surfer, so everyone did a paddle out. I did not. Water was too cold, but I was there. I did my piece. But I live now with a healthy fear that it is unsafe out there now more than it's ever been, because you don't know what you're going to get. Since I got sober this time, I deleted all my connections and all my dealers out of my phone, which means if I were to relapse, I'd be out, whoever, Vegas, LA, wherever. Hey, do you have some blow? I don't know you from Adam. I don't know what I'm getting. And one granule over can kill you. If you touch fentanyl and get too much on your skin, it can kill you. So, now it's weird. Ever since Nick's little brother passed away, I've been heavily involved with the mental health community. Now mental health is not being swept under the rug. People are talking about it more candidly now, thankfully. My goal at some point, if I can surround myself with the right people, is I want to open up free clinics for addicts that can't afford or don't have insurance to help. Obviously we would pay the therapists, we would pay the interns and people that work at the facility. But there's, if you really want good treatment nowadays, a lot of these kids can't afford it, or their parents have kind of thrown in the towel and say, you're on your own, deal with it, or the parents are enabling. So, but that is devastating.
It's a pandemic in itself, huh?
Oh,
so mental health. But the more we have these uncomfortable conversations, whether it's about body image, it's all falls under the same umbrella of mental health, So I'm happy that you're doing that and also leading by example. It's very inspiring, So keep up the great work, my friend.
I try because, it's funny. Obviously, anyone that doesn't know the 12-step program, your 12-step is obviously your last step, which is being of service to other alcoholics and addicts. And I do that daily, no matter what. Even just talking to my sponsor, I'm being of service because I'm helping him stay sober. He helps me stay sober. Of course. So I know when I get there, when my time is right to be there, that's not going to be a problem for me.
Yeah.
And I also don't look at that as being codependent because I'm being of service. I'm helping someone else.
Yeah. No, it's far from being codependent. It's far from that. It's called giving back to yourself.
Yeah. Yes. 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. Have you heard an episode of Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans?
I have not. So it's funny. When I saw the title, I'm like, it's Sex, Lies, and then what? But I get it because, I know what y'all would do for the show and all this shit. Y'all, spray on the abs.
Yeah.
I've done
Spread eagle.
I spray tanned for my wedding. And let me tell you, I'll send you the photos from the reception. I look like a fucking...
Wait, I think you told me. That's why you never got a spray tan on Dancing with the Stars. I think this is why.
For some reason, because I have olive skin, I look like an Oompa Loompa. It comes out orange. It's not a good look.
I love orange. I think it's great. It just depends on your perception. For me, I love any Oompa Loompas walking around. I just love it. Good old spray tan.
Rochelle and I recently got spray tanned. We went, we have a guy that we always use. His name is Jimmy Coco. He does.
Oh yeah. You told me about this guy.
Oh, he
back
does
in the day.
Everybody, Victoria's Secret, the Kardashians, you name it. And now he has his own line. He's crushing it. But he did us before we left for the Bahamas for Howie's 50th birthday. So now we have 250 plus Backstreet Boys.
Hey, who's counting? You guys look great.
I mean, thankfully, we've all kept ourselves in, for me,
Yes.
I know why I do it. Since I did the show with you, I have lost collectively 30 pounds.
I can see that.
And I have no shame in saying I had a little work done. When I did RuPaul, I had to shave my beard, which
You won, by the way. Congrats.
I did.
Oh,
win.
really? Really?
All the girls, all three of my girls hate when I shave. They hate it.
Wait, did I ever make you shave with me? Did you shave it on? No, I never made you do that.
No. Just shave my head. But
yeah, I know.
So Raven, which is Mama Rue's main makeup artist, sat me down one day before rehearsal and said, "How bad do you want to win this?" I said, "I want to win this. I want to win this bad." He goes, "What do you think about taping?" And I'm like, "Wait, is that bad?" He's like, "No, that's tucking, sweetheart." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Taping is when they tape here and then they tape your eyebrows up and all that goes under your wig hat.
It's like a facelift.
Basically. So I got to see what I would look like with a jawline because I've always had a beard because I have extra skin here genetically and I was very insecure about it. So when I saw what I looked like with a jawline, I got really emotional. My wife found an amazing doctor out by us. And maybe it's been 2 years now. I think 2 years now. December, I went and I did face tight and lipo on my neck. And I feel younger.
You look great. You look great before.
I feel like a new man. Yeah, I still haven't shaved completely since I've done it to see what I would look like, but it's coming. It's coming.
But your kids are going to freak out.
I think, now they know why I want to do it, to shave, because they also, kids, God, I love them, but they say the most hurtful shit.
They're honest.
They kept before I did this, they called this my droopy.
Aww.
And I was like, wow, really? That really? Okay,
So you guys see, men also go through insecurities about the material things. I had no idea that you had insecurities about that, especially, since we danced like so close. So we were so close during that time on Dancing with the Stars. I had no idea you had any insecurities as far as like your, like the outside of you.
Yeah, I mean, I never, because I wouldn't talk about it because I have my beard.
Of course.
To me, like I wouldn't even, like I know how some women are where you, especially whenever we would take a picture, you had a side, you had an angle that you felt was more flattering for you, right? I would never do anything profile because I hated the way this looked. Now,
interesting.
Now I'll do profile all damn day. I don't.
You're like, right? You want my right, my left, or my left?
Yep. I will take it any which way. Diagonal, I'm good.
Oh my God. So is it true when they say once you start, you can't stop, like tattoos, or are you good? You're good now.
No, that was a one-time thing for me, and I am so happy I did it. I was public about it. I had no shame. Just like me doing my hair. Like I've told people knew I did my hair. I went and did it a second time, and then I tattooed my scalp twice now. It actually was not bad, honestly.
Well, not with all the tattoos you have on your body. What's the worst part?
This is just straight bone, so I thought it was going to be extremely painful. The first time I did it, I numbed my head. That hurt worse. Second time, no numbing. I was fine.
Wait, you numbed it on your own?
No.
You're like, hold on.
I went to my hair doctor, and there's a girl there that actually worked at a tattoo shop. Now works for my hair doctor.
Oh my gosh. There's so much that happened.
Oh, and I got this. If you can see
that?
It. I got a face tattoo.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
I love you. I love me.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't love red, that. So it's faint.
I like that. That's so cool. I'm just so happy for you, honestly. Like you have just come into your own like identity in a way. And I know you're happy because I can hear it and I can see you and we're having this time together.
Well, it's funny you say that because the one thing that I learned most of all through all this process of Arizona and the separation and working things out and all these things is that Now I look at what I do as a job. It doesn't define me. And when I'm not working, I tell all my closest friends to call me Alex because AJ is a persona. AJ is a Backstreet Boy. AJ is a persona. Alex is who I really am. So like...
Yeah, you haven't told me to call you that, so I guess...
I'm telling you now. There you go. Okay. Or asking you. I'm not telling you. I'm asking you.
You're telling me. I love it, Alex.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay. Well, going back to your persona, let's rewind here. Since this podcast is about, obviously, something that was near and dear to my heart for 17 years of my life and something that was part of your life for less than a year. But it was also, the reason why I'm doing this is not to talk bad or negative about the show. It's to literally talk about the experiences because it has left a mark, whether you're the first one that has ever been eliminated ever on this franchise, or if, it's like with the experience, with the growth, with what you learned most about yourself. You told me when we had started this before we recorded that you were actually there at the Dancing with the Stars studios. Before we get into fan questions, how was that experience for you?
Look, it was great to go back, but to be honest, when I pulled into the parking lot, I saw all the security guys. We were all catching up. But instantly, even though I knew I wasn't there to rehearse, I got a little bit weird thing in my tummy. I was just anxious. And because, you and I busted our ass and it was very emotional for you and I. And so, I tell anyone, and I even told some of the new contestants yesterday, Allison Hannigan, and, I talked to my buddy Jason Mraz. And I was like,
he's doing great.
I said, listen, if you take anything from this, trust me when I tell you, this show is not about dancing. It's not. It's about self-discovery. It's about coming out of your shell. It's about letting down walls and really embracing the person you are and being comfortable. And, of course, everybody wants to win. The pros, the, celebs, everybody wants to win. And I told everybody there, I said, you guys are all winners just being where you are right now, doing this out of your comfort zone. Yes, I'm a classically trained dancer, but not in ballroom, so it was a challenge for me.
Do you think it was harder because you were classically trained and then you had to untrain your brain to learn ballroom? Or?
Yeah, I think it was. It was funny yesterday. PETA was like, let's check that frame. And man, my frame was on point. You would have been so proud of me.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, no, it was on point.
I'm sure. No, your frame, by the way, your frame was always freaking on point. I feel like the judges were extra hard on you because you were classically trained. But I always say this, I talked to Heather Morris as well because she got the boot really early on. And she is obviously, she was on So You Think You Can Dance prior to her time on Dancing with the Stars. Oh. And she was a backup dancer for Beyonce prior to her time on Dancing with the Stars. A lot of people were hating on her. And at the end of the day, I think it's harder because I keep comparing her time to you. It's like you do have to untrain the brain. That takes longer than training the brain.
No, it does. And honestly, look, I don't know if I could say this or not, but I'm going to.
You can say whatever you want.
Enough time has gone by.
Okay.
And I have a feeling you're going to agree with me.
Okay.
I think the night that we got eliminated.
Oh, that was brutal.
The actual Argentine tango.
No, it was our Viennese waltz.
No, it was Argentine. Wasn't it? Or was it Viennese waltz?
It was when it was, what's it called? We danced to the...
Queen.
Yes, and it was that one Viennese little waltz, part in the beginning. That was it.
See, that's what I think. That's what I believe Carrie Ann judged me on, as opposed to the actual dance, because we killed the waltz.
Oh my God.
We did it so good.
Every single time. From the moment from day one.
We literally killed that waltz. I thought we were going to get at least 2 9s, maybe or 3 9s. And I was like, she judged me on the intro, but not the actual dance.
You know what's so interesting is that I feel like it's very rare the judges judge live. Because it's obviously they they obviously have seen some sort of rehearsal, or maybe like during, it is a live television show. Leah Remini, she'll be on here next week, but she basically, because she was a guest judge. So I said, what do we need to know as far as being in that position goes? And she says, yes, we watch dress rehearsal. Like we have to, like how in the hell else it's a live television show. We have to know what we're commenting about. And I said, so are we getting judged based off dress, or are we getting judged based off the live television show? And she's like, it just, I don't have an answer for you. And at that our dress rehearsal was so good. And so,
it's a little bit of both. I feel like it's a little bit of both. Because obviously, like you said,
but it wasn't because of the content. Time. It wasn't the content.
No, and they don't have enough time live to properly judge. So they're going to already have notes because they, Derek and all of them probably assume, okay, chances of the dance getting better than what, if they're nailing it in rehearsal, that's what it's going to be, hopefully, in the show.
Oh, for sure.
If they're tanking in rehearsal, then they have somewhere to go. Or they might freeze up live
But there was no audience back then either.
See, that also, man, that really, like, the very next season, and I'm so, like, to me, in all the years I've watched the show, that Daniela and Homeboy that won, like, that was like shit I've never seen before. It was like groundbreaking. Obviously, he's 9'5" and she's 3'2", and he can just throw her around like a rag doll. But you still got to know what you're doing. And man, God, that's the Halloween performance to me is probably one of the best performances I think
for sure.
I've seen.
For sure. But when it comes to like actual content in ballroom dancing, that's not that. At the end of the day, the challenge of Dancing with the Stars is to become a ballroom dancer or to try to become one. And though, yes, record breaking, absolutely. Do they deserve to win? Yes, absolutely. I just had Caitlin Bristow on. She also says the same thing. And she said, look, I wish there was an audience. And then Leah Remini goes, I would have paid millions of dollars to have been a part of the cast during the COVID because she did not want an audience at all.
Right.
She hated that. It really freaked her out. And obviously as a performer, you vibe off of that. Like that gives
100%.
I could literally hear me and you breathing when we were performing.
No, it's like there's a different level of energy and a different level of performance when you're feeding off of a crowd.
Yeah.
And, when we're looking out at just cameras and cables,
well,
and
also
we also
the judges
couldn't even use props.
No,
everything was limited.
Yeah. No, everything, even our connection and the camaraderie between us and the other couples, like that also has a lot to do with it. There was none. There was no such thing. I even said that to Caitlin. I said, I wish we would have been friends because like at the end of the day, we couldn't go into each other's rehearsal space. We couldn't do show and tell like they do now. Was it different when you were there?
That's what I told Rhea yesterday when I was doing the OTF. He's like,
he's one of our producers.
I'm like, yeah. I said, but dude, remember you weren't in the room. He's like, oh crap, that's right. We weren't in the room. Like, no, dude. It was the voice of God coming from the speaker telling us what's coming up next or what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There was nobody in the room. There was remote
zero.
Camera. Yeah.
Yep. And wait, what is your conspiracy theory then on why we got eliminated? You think it was just for that one little mistake?
My conspiracy theory is I believe that is one. And two, I believe because I am a classically trained dancer and the show is to teach those that don't know how to dance really at all, to give them an opportunity to win the show. Look, Nelly's my boy.
Oh my gosh, Nelly.
We've been homies forever, but you know what? That smile sold him, man. I'll tell you what. He's got that pearly white smile that sold him.
No, and he is the epitome of what Dancing with the Stars is about, right?
100%.
Like he wasn't like if you were to really just look at the dancing, right? Obviously you were better, but it was about the journey. This guy had zero dance experience. He didn't want to jive, and then all of a sudden he jived.
Yep. I mean, which you would have been so proud of me yesterday. I don't know if they got it on camera or not, but when they did the routine, I was picking out, they did 4 different styles in the group thing, and I picked out 3 out of 4. I knew I saw the Foxtrot, I knew I saw the Viennese Waltz, and I knew I saw Samba. And then I was joking, and I said, y'all remember my first anything was jive. And I said, my damn toes.
You jumped off the stage, and oh my God, dude, your ankle rolled.
But yesterday, and again, I don't know if they filmed it and they're going to use it, but you would have been so proud of how great my toes were when I was doing my jive yesterday.
Oh, now you're doing it. Now you're doing it, AJ.
And you know what's crazy also? Like Nick mentioned this to me after he did his season.
Nick Lachey or Nick Carter?
Carter. That it's crazy how doing this show, coming back to us on tour, even though we've got our stuff in our body, how different it is for us with our lines, how much cleaner we are, almost how much more serious we take our choreography, even though it's more urban. But even something as simple as a step touch, everything has got a line now. And it's like...
You're just super detailed and OCD about it, like I was with you.
Yes. 100%.
I've rubbed off. Your dance mom has rubbed off on you in a good way, I hope.
And I am grateful for that because
how about your other band members? They must be like, what's wrong with these two? Like, why are they so anal?
I mean, we literally, it's funny because we'll be in rehearsal and we'll be like, listen, bro, you're getting a little lazy and all of us need to look unified. And then they'll, there might be a banter of no, I'm not. And be like, look at the game tape. Watch the show from last night. Lazy. Like but we've all done it. We've all done it. It's not, I'm not picking on anybody. We've all had a lazy night.
Could you give us a little bit of a teaser? Because this is going to air right before tomorrow's show. So I just want to, whose team, like, what are you doing there? Why were you there?
It is 4 contestants against 4 contestants, the final 8. And Team A is doing, so this week's concept is greatest music videos of all time. And Team A picked Backstreet's Back. Allison Hannigan is the team captain. She picked the song. And they are doing some elements of the intricate Backstreet's Back.
Stop.
So, just gave my 2 cents.
So is Harry and Riley as well on your team?
No. So we have...
Allison.
We have Allison. We have Jason.
I love that.
We have Mr. Brady.
Oh my God. How he's killing it. Have you watched it? You haven't watched, I'm assuming.
I've seen it. I've now gone back and watched.
Yeah.
He's killing it. But if I can give my predictions, it's going to come down between Jason and my Marvel girl, Sochi.
Okay, but there's 4 people in the final.
I know, but I'm saying between those 2 for the win.
Yeah. So I think this is my prediction. I believe that Mr. Brady is going to make the final. I think he'll come in 4th because he is our demographic. Like, and Matt and you also know, since he danced last just not too long ago, he's going to make the final. And then you have Ariana as well in there.
Well, yeah. And then Ariana yesterday, full freak out.
Oh, sure. She was in BravoCon. She was in BravoCon.
She is a major Backstreet Boys fan.
Not because of the stress of the fact that she hasn't rehearsed. No. Because of you.
When I walked in the room, none of them had any idea. She almost collapsed.
Oh my God.
She's so sweet. She showed me, and this is for all the Gen Zs out there that don't know what a photograph is. It's an actual printed photograph. She had printed photos from the Millennium Tour.
Oh my gosh, she had it ready. She had them ready.
She had it ready just in case. She carries them with her, which I think is so sweet. So sweet. Well, she also had them for her OTF and for, some of her stuff, for her package.
Yeah.
And so she had them not knowing I was going to be there. And so sweet. Everybody,
I love it.
So sweet. And it was just so great to see everybody again. I didn't get to meet Team B. So
I think Lance Bass I saw was there at one point at rehearsals as well.
Yes. Lance was there, I think, last week or the week before.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love it. So there was some awesome. There was some good interactions. I mean, do you remember though when we danced our many dances? I remember the next day you'd be like, first you would always show up early and get me my Starbucks, which is so sweet of you. Yep. I said that today actually. I was like, if he doesn't have a Starbucks in his hand waiting for me to be on time, because I was always 5 to 10 minutes late and you're always 5-10 minutes early. But there was moments that you said to me, I was crying in the car in the parking lot. Do you remember those moments?
Oh, I do. I trust me. Like I said, it was an emotional roller coaster, man. But it was such an incredible experience.
Yeah. What did you learn most about yourself during that time?
I think I learned to. One of my biggest fears, and I think I shared this on Pretty Messed Up, is the fear of failure. But I think I started learning that it's okay, and it's not even necessarily failing, but to not do everything in life perfectly. And that's
There's no such thing. There's also no such thing.
But like I told everybody yesterday before I left, I said, you guys are all winners already, just being as far as you are, number one. Number two, what the audience really wants to see is you having fun. If you're not, if you're in your head and you're thinking, or you're mouthing the 8 counts, or you're doing whatever, then you're going to do yourself a disservice. Yeah. Smile, have fun. Who gives a tiny rat's ass if you hit every line right, every move right? No one's perfect except the pros, right? And even the pros have their moments. So, I do have to ask you, because I saw you responded. I was talking to Elliot this morning, and I told her that on your story, you were asking fans to ask questions. And I asked a question to you from me saying, hey, this is AJ McLean. My question is, do you think I'm handsome and I'm the best one, or whatever I said?
Yeah.
And then you replied.
No, I didn't reply. I was like, oh, I miss you, because you basically were asking yourself the question.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a great segue into the fan questions. So would you like to answer it yourself?
Sure. This is AJ McLean. Yes. And I think I look the best I've ever looked in my life. And that's because of sobriety and self-love and self-care. And yeah, I feel great.
And you look great, and you are great. And I know you're great, even through a freaking laptop screen. Okay. So let's get to it. Fan questions. And then we're playing rapid fire. And when I say rapid fire, you would be the first person who actually answers my questions in rapid fire. So we got to make sure that happens, because there's a lot to go through.
Done.
Are you ready? Okay.
Let's do it.
At Annie Abel. Would you do the show again?
No.
This is not rapid fire. You could give me more of an answer.
No, I would, because to me that was a moment. That was a moment. I think I would go in almost too competitive going back, and I think that would do me a disservice. I think it was a moment in time, and it was a life lesson, and I'm grateful for it.
And I'm going to stay far away from that dance studio. At Chill050, how did Cheryl's coaching style work for you, or did it not?
No, I think, look, you and I...
You don't have to be nice. You could be honest.
No, you and I had a way of speaking to each other. even without words. Yeah. We could just feel the energy, and we knew if I was struggling, you would push me, and then you would back off and be comforting, because that's just who you are. Yeah. Like you're passionate, you want to win, but at the same time, you also kind of humanized me, which I think made it better, as opposed to just go, go, go.
Right.
So I think we had a really, really great connection. That's why we're still friends. We could have not had a good connection and not been friends.
Lose my number type of relationship. Okay. At Nessa Chemist. I suck at this. Okay. Did you ever feel like the judges' scores were unjust?
A few times I did. Our highest score was the samba.
What was it? 3/8?
It was 3/8. No, it might have been 3/8 or 3/9.
I don't know. Okay.
It was our highest score. That was to Dua Lipa.
Remember how I was prepping you like, this samba is going to be so hard, and you murdered it in a good way.
I'm Puerto Rican, so these hips don't lie. So that was the easy one. I think there was a couple of moments, because you and I were only in the bottom twice. And I think once was just to shake it up.
Yeah.
And then the second one, obviously, we have our conspiracy theories. But there was probably 2 or 3 dances. Oh, to me, I thought we were really unjust with the rumba, because that was
my God. I know. This was part of my intro. I know.
That was like, even watching it now, I get emotional watching it because I knew what it was internalizing to externalize. And I was like, damn.
But also, do you remember the crew members that have like that were so affected? Like in all my seasons there, never once did like the camera guy or the lighting guy, they would say hi, but it wasn't like they weren't in tears saying how powerful a performance was. And you did that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was that one burned, I think, the most for me as far as scoring. Yeah.
I was kind of like, I smell something fishy. No kidding. Okay. Okay. At Melissa C5, what do you miss about dance or being on the show?
I mean, I miss being on the show just because of the camaraderie between the other celebs and the pros. Mm-hmm. Everybody was a family. Mm-hmm. And, even though everybody wanted to win, there was still like healthy competition. People were encouraging each other. Neve was always like, after he'd see my rehearsal, he'd be like, dude, you killed it. Like, he could have just not said anything and which probably would have gotten in my head. But like, people on the show encourage each other. And I think that is what's great. I talked to Artem yesterday and just, seeing him as a dad and all these things, it was just really, it's like, because him and I have talked offline since the show, and it's like, dude, you're a dad now. Like, I know what that's like. Now we have that in common. You know what I mean? So Val and I always hit it off great.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, it does leave a stamp. Like, this show is a special type of formula, I think, to where it's like, there is no way that you can just erase it from your mind, right? Or your memory.
No, you can't.
Lauren Vick Grilly, what was going through your mind after Cheryl fell on her head?
Well, first of all, great way of butchering that name. Like, you just like, Lauren, marbles in my mouth.
Sorry, Lauren.
Yes, we apologize, Lauren. It's funny. I was thinking about that earlier while we were talking.
That was fine. It was fine.
I mean, it was fine, but obviously production's like, nope, you're going home. We're not going to continue rehearsal. You could have a concussion.
Not really. Then the showrunner at the time came out and was like, do you think we can use that footage? Can we use that footage, you think? Are you okay? Oh, wait, are you okay? Okay, wait, can we use the footage?
The magic of TV. It's like, oh, we're going to use that. We're going to use that.
It's a bouncy floor. It's a bouncy floor.
It was, but you still hit it pretty fucking hard. My wife just got a concussion last week. Literally. She was at a roller skating party. My girls have picked up roller skating and they are obsessed and they're really good. My oldest went outside to get something with mommy out of her truck, and going back in, Rochelle lost her footing, tried to grab the door and slammed down on her neck and her head. And she got a concussion.
Is she okay?
She's good. The first 4 hours, they say, is the really dangerous area. After that, you're fine. And they didn't feel like they had to do any CT scans or any possible brain damage. She gets enough of that from me. So, but yeah.
That's great. Yeah, no, mine, that sounds more serious than what happened to me. But what went through your mind when you saw me go straight down for the, take?
Well, because, you were in shock. I don't know if you remember. You were laughing. And I'm like,
the whole time?
And I'm like, this is not funny. But you also didn't move right away either. You were like looking up at the ceiling. Then I came over. I was looking at you. You started laughing. You said you were okay. Everybody else came over. We lifted you up. We walked you off. I went to my trailer. You went to go get checked out. And then one of the assistants came and told me, we're done. You're not.
I wanted to do it again.
Oh, I know. We both did. And you were not cleared for it because that was the Halloween
episode. And they still didn't give us good scores.
I know, dude. And it's like, and we actually did a really good tango, I thought.
It was solid. It was solid, considering that I had half a brain, back then. Yeah. I think it's grown back. Okay, so one more question before we do rapid fire. Okay, so who would you dance with if Cheryl wasn't your partner? This is from @KaMama21.
That's an interesting question.
I can choose anyone.
I'd probably say Danielle.
Yeah.
Or I'm drawing a blank on Val's girl.
Jenna.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, Jenna and I are about the same height. roughly. And then
I think Daniela would be perfect with you.
I don't know if I could fling Danielle around, but I feel like, well,
thank God it's a ballroom dance show when you're not supposed to do lifts anyway. So we're good.
There's no flinging around.
Fun fact. I think you were supposed to dance with Daniela and I was supposed to dance with Nelly.
That is true.
Oh, it is true. Are you confirming?
Well, no, that's what I was told initially. Then when the conversation of the podcast came up, it all made sense. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, you know what? I'm glad we danced together because I don't think I would be where I am today as far as my sobriety goes. So, and selfishly, I'm grateful for our time. Now, would you have gotten the mirror ball? Maybe. But hey, it's just a mirror ball, like you said.
It is.
Okay, rapid fire dancing boy band edition. Dun dun dun. You have these to choose from. These people: Drew Lachey, Nick Lachey, Lance Bass, Joey Fatone, Joey McIntyre, Nick Carter, and yourself, Alex McLean. Okay, are you ready? Best dancer.
Me.
Best vocals.
Me.
Come on, AJ. Funniest.
Joey Fatone.
Biggest flirt.
Me.
Most charming.
Joey Mack.
Who's hooked up with a fan before? Hurry up. Say it.
All of us.
Biggest prankster.
Nick.
Who are you
Carter.
closest? Who are you closest to?
Nick Carter.
Who loves to party the most?
Probably Joey Fatone.
Most sensitive.
Again, probably me or Joey Mack.
Cute. Loudest.
Me or Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone.
Yeah.
Keep both of you. Keeps to himself the most.
Keeps to himself the most? Probably Nick Lachey.
Most boring.
Nick Lachey? Oh my God.
One of the Lacheys? No, I'm kidding. Biggest ego?
Damn.
We all have one, you know.
Shit. Joey McIntyre.
Oh, most humble.
Most humble? Lance.
Likely to have a deep conversation with?
Nick Carter.
A few more. Who would you choose to do Amazing Race with?
Joey McIntyre.
Who would you choose to do Naked and Afraid with?
Not Joey Fatone, because I know some shit. I'll tell you right now. Hell no.
OMG. I can't believe it.
Hell
I love
no,
you.
I would not. I wouldn't be within 10 yards of him.
I don't think Joey Fatone would be with himself either, actually.
No.
Best dressed in the ballroom?
Me, for sure.
Best dressed in real life?
Me, for sure.
Who would be the next best contestant if they did another celebrity drag race other than you, obviously?
I think Joey Mack or Nick Carter.
Interesting.
That's a pretty boy.
Who would you want that has not been a part of Dancing with the Stars yet? Who would you think would do well out of all the boy banders?
I think my oldest member, Kevin, because Kevin taught ballroom dancing years ago.
I know. Yeah. We'll see him there soon. Last one. Who would you want to make a Christmas album with if you could only choose one of the boys to do it with?
You know what? I would do it with Lance, just because his low voice, my range, I think we could do some really pretty vocals.
Love it. Thank you, AJ.
What I'm here for.
What can your fans look forward to in the next, you already said it in the beginning of our conversation, but like during this next year when you are on hiatus with the boys, I'm sure you have other projects coming out. Do you want to share?
You guys can expect 2 EPs and a full LP from me. I'm breaking up my solo album into 2 parts.
Wait, what's LP?
It's going to be a body of work, almost 20 songs deep. I have a clothing company that I'm launching, which is an athleisure wear, fully sustainable, organic, and we're going to be groundbreaking, as well as Ava Dean Beauty is going to expand. And hopefully my golf game gets better. And
you're going to continue to thrive.
Yep. And in 2025, the biggest announcement from Backstreet Boys probably in the last 20 years.
You're going to tell me right now when we stop recording.
Okay.
Love you. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Make sure you guys follow us at Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans on our Instagram handle, and make sure you comment. Let me know who you want me to interview. What do y'all think? Let me know.